can run fast but won't get far. My mom thinks that I'm an animal. I'm just looking for the antidote. There's a British girl on my TV screen. She's so hot, she's so mean. Burn my body like it's flammable. Girl, I'm still a fan of you. Hey, 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 hey. Like a cannibal. Baby, I'm a fan of you. Your sensation, my fixation. Just tell me that it's tangible. Baby, I'm a fan of you. Hey, hey, hey. Your sensation is my fixation.
Say don't play with me, but I still gamble with it. We getting right before we take off on the landing strip. Know that you like all the attention that a fan gives. Say that you like me, but you way too young for marriage. I've been here before, I know exactly how it goes. Yeah, now I got you packing up your clothes. You can hit me up and let me know exactly when you close. I'm her favorite, says she need a. She wanna all day. Hey, 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 hey.
That's how I be happening. This for all my not a band. For my ladies on stage, they clapping. Transact mansion. Cause your mama need a mansion. Get cracked, put them in the. Can't forget the yellow brother. Shed so many tears, lost 100 friends.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in tonight's battle. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets, next on Madden Football.
The bright lights of Broadway just to the east of us, and we are under the lights as well at MedLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And he returns this to the 22. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And after an Achilles injury robbed him of playing most of last season, he's hoping this year can set himself up for a possible fairy tale ending in what has been an inevitable Hall of Fame career. We know it won't be easy, but the Jets have great optimism not only for Aaron Rodgers, but for the team. If he plays the full season, they believe they're truly a playoff team.
He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Another nice catch there by Garrett Wilson, who's off to a really nice start in his NFL career. He was Rookie of the Year in 2022, and in 2023, his second 1,000-yard season. He's looking for an even bigger leap this year with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback throughout the entire campaign.
Tyrell Dodson, the one to bring him down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Uchenna Nwosu from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Working from the gun, Rodgers under pressure, and they got to him again. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 36. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And leading him out, the former Jet, playing against his ex-team, the 39th overall pick in 2013, drafted by those Jets, Geno Smith.
Didn't exactly cover himself in glory during his time with the Jets, 11-18 as a starter. Almost wonder if not going in the first round and having to come back that second day at the draft was a precursor about what was going to happen with him with the Jets. Plenty of talent, great mind, a football gym rat, but it never came all together while he was in New York.
And now he's on the other side.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He completes this to Walker. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw, Smith.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
2nd and 10.
Smith throwing again. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Geno now to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
First and goal from just inside the 5.
Smith being chased out left. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Geno Smith taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Seahawks put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run.
Jason Myers, the kickoff for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, The goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Boye Mafe, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
And Mafe really took a sizable leap in his second season, recording 9 sacks on the year. And they expect that number to continue to grow as he continues to gain experience.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go.
Rodgers now to throw. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Wilson's got it complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5. They'll go again with Hall. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll go for it. It's Hall. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. But a little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game, that they've got to match them point for point as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
And when you see him make moves and plays like that, It's hard to believe that he wasn't just an edge rusher right from the beginning in the NFL. But once he found his spot, put up big numbers, 50.5 sacks over his last 4 seasons.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Jets will take over. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Paul on a give up the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down.
And it didn't take long for Hall to remind everyone just how special a player he is. He totaled nearly 1,600 yards from scrimmage a season ago, and he appears to be picking up right where he left off as he moves the chains for this offense.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. That is caught. It's Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
2nd down and a yard.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Defensively going forward, they're going to have to watch out for him on plays just like that. It's a drag route across the field, and they're trying to free him up and let him run after the catch. That won't be the last time we see that play, and it works there to pick up a 1st down.
To throw is Rodgers. And he's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Buying time to his left. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Aaron Rodgers taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Oh, this is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. Shedding through the defense. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Throwing now is Geno. He'll buy some time right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down and a 21-yard gain.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. They'll try the air now with Smith. Steps away to his left. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
New York ready to go again offensively. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Rodgers going to throw. Rutherford holding it in on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. On third down, here's Hall. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. They'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2, but he doesn't come anywhere close. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Throwing is Smith. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete to Brown, right side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Now Geno steps away. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And the Jets set to take the field. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride to the offense this go-around. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Flushed out right. And running with power here. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
A beautiful fake. And he'll go down at the 28.
54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
A handoff for Hall.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here's Rodgers. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Uchenna Nwosu. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this 1st quarter of play. Seven, our score after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Here's a give to Hall. Heck of a broken tackle, but only able to work this down near the 23. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and forever. Now Rodgers. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Here's Walker to start the drive. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
As it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Now it's Smith. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Smith sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, 37 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now Myers for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Jets taking over again. Breece Hall making his way out with the offense. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Hall again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 80 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jaron Reed in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Flush to his right. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Boye Mafe, his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in his zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Back to throw, Smith. Rolling to his right. And got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain of 37.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He has such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. To throw is Smith. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Geno now to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, partner, I would say just avoid play action, but that's not just been the problem. This defense, they've been getting pressure on all types of pass plays and really piling up the sacks in this contest.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Rodgers now to throw.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
They'll run. It's Hall.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
87 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Now it's Rodgers. This will be caught just inside the 10. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 29.
A gain of 46 yards on the play. First down, Seattle.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over.
A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
Fighting him off. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a 1st down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. He's got it to Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Open man here is Conklin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
Well, that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another 1st down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Hall.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This 2nd and 4.
Throwing now is Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. from 13 yards out. And the Jets are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Hassan Reddick. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save?
Yes.
That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it. And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of that guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Smith now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Here's Smith. Man open left side is Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now Smith. Pressure comes and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
But tell the statistician to add another one to their impressive total today. Great week for the defensive front. A tough one for that offensive line. Quarterback getting right back behind that line, hoping for more time to attempt a likely 3rd down pass.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. He completes this to Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Hall. Dances by him. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 41. 104 yards rushing for him now to this point. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. To throw, it's Rodgers. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively, and it's 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
And he comes back with one complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 27-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Here's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Rodgers going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Zerline's kick is up and through, and they take a 17-14 lead. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Now Geno. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Throwing is Smith. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Smith. Flushed out right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Geno Smith getting ready to go again here on offense. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the second half. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Geno now to throw. He'll buy some time right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
From the gun, here's Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
The Jets offense and Aaron Rodgers getting set for their next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Derek Hall, give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. Here's Hall. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal.
It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through.
And with that, they take the lead here 20-17.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And that is incomplete.
But this has not been going the way that he thought prior to the game. Probably figured he'd be able to throw a few more downfield, but he's having to run around for his life back there. They've already gotten to him a number of times. They'll keep coming after him in the pass rush. My advice, shorter passes. Get the ball out of your hand.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 37. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Again, Smith.
He'll find Metcalf. Down inside the 10.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
DK Metcalf.
His second touchdown of the night.
And the Seahawks have retaken a third-quarter lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And that will make this a 4-point game. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And New York set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Geno in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. This is taken at the 23. Powering his way forward. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense and Geno Smith headed back out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. And this is caught inside the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 61 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Now it's Smith. Dancing to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Geno Smith taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt.
And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's taken to the 26.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Seahawks offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
He hits his target, Lockett. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Seahawks.
Play action. It's Smith.
Returning right back to Lockett.
And he's taken down inside the 30. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a 1st down.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
23 yards on the play.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Tackled that time by Derek Hall.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Hall again on second down.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Rodgers now to throw. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
The Seahawks take back over. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase.
Walker hit and the ball is out.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Oh, Walker showing the power, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Play action. Now it's Rodgers.
He finds Wilson.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well-designed, and it's a quick first down.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple.
At the Seahawks 10-yard line.
Now Rodgers. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
Jerome Baker able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. 3rd and 12.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Only a 3-yard loss there on the sack, but more importantly, it leads to a 4th and goal. Zerline's kick is up and through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's Jermaine Johnson stopping that play before it begins, dropping him for a loss. Out of the gun, Smith. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On the move to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Throwing now is Geno. Rolling to his right. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Certainly a rarity for all but an elite couple of quarterbacks in this league to have a 100-yard day on the ground. Heck, even running backs don't hit the mark as often as they used to. Nice to see them keep calling his number once they saw he was in line for a special game.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Smith now to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. From the 22 now, here's 2nd and 3. A shotgun snap for Smith. Out to his left. Going right back to Fant. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size,
difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now Smith. They'll roll him out right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Chuck Clark collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And he's going to go down again. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Hassan Reddick make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. And now, is it 4th down? No, it's 3rd down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Mike Williams. 60 yards. And the Jets have cut it back within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that drive, 4 plays. And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. And out now come the Seahawks. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And a powerful Rifle stiff arm. It frees him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Walker with another carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Now Smith. Under pressure, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
That one taken in by Corley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Rodgers. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Walker. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Seahawks have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now up to 14.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Shotgun now for Rodgers.
And check down, complete to Hall.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers buying time to his left. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Taken from just outside the 30. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Back to Walker on 1st down.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Again, it's Walker.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, once again, here comes Garrett Wilson in the Jets offense. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. He dumps this one off here to Hall. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Rodgers going to throw. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Here's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. He lets it fly for Lockett. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And the Jets are right back in this football game. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This complete to Corley. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
That's another Jets first down. First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Rodgers now to throw. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
That's another Jets first down. First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
A toss left side for Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing is Rodgers.
That's caught. This is Abanikanda.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. Is able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Now Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the 2nd half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. To throw is Rodgers. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Disastrous outcome there on 3rd and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack. Now Rodgers, a free play. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked by Julian Love. And the Seahawks are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Dancing to his left. It's caught inside the 25. And finally, he's taken down at the 18. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 40 yards.
And with that last completion, folks, he now owns the NFL record for most passing yards in a single game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. It's caught. Lockett. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play.
Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10
at their own 22.
He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. This will be caught by Brown. And he was able to shed one tackle, but could not get away from there. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's 2nd down. Now Geno. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Now it's Smith, escaping the pressure right. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st. And with that pass, CD, he's now over 400 yards in the game. And even in a pass-first league, that is still a tough benchmark to hit.
And all week leading up to this one, all we read, heard about was the confidence he had that he could put up big numbers. Kudos to him for coming out here with that belief in himself and for making it happen.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
That's good for another Jets. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Taken in left side, it's Wilson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Rodgers.
touchdown, Jets. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Well, they needed 3 scores to have any chance. There's the first of the 3 as they get into the end zone.
Yeah, Brandon, I think that our guys at Next Gen Stats in charge of the win probability are probably saying your chances still aren't great. But now you still got more than 3 minutes to go. You got to focus on the task at hand, which is going to be getting the football back as quickly as possible.
Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. 2 scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Smith. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. First target, first catch, and a first down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Seahawks first down.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is...
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the Jets are right back in this football game. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
The Jets offense and receiver Garrett Wilson ready to get going again. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And 8 yards to go.
Back to throw. Rodgers. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Walker with a grab, left side. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Smith now to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So certainly a big mistake there, Charles. First and goal, and they throw the interception.
Oh, that's just agonizing for a team because you still got at least 2, maybe 3 downs in your pocket. So if it's not there on first down, there was no sense in trying to force something. Instead, they turned the ball over.
So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 10, a minute 35 to go. The turnover does give them life, but they still need 2 scores. Now Rodgers. And check down, complete to Hall. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. To throw is Rodgers.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
Rodgers to throw.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Another big play in a game that's had plenty of them. 4th and 2.
They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Back to throw, Rodgers.
It's caught by Rutherford, finding room at midfield.
And finally brought down at the 38. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you, but you definitely aren't looking to give up plays like that. They still got the cushion of a 2-score lead, but don't give them a freebie here in the final minute.
Rodgers now to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers.
A lot of practice time, a lot of thinking goes into 2-minute drills, even on the defensive side. So now you want to make sure the guys understand. Continue to be aggressive, but make sure you're smart in doing so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Now Smith.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Smith.
He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown.
From 19 yards away.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the first down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. Forced out to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From MedLife Stadium, good night, everybody.